Hi everyone, in this video we are talking about ancient Egypt. Egypt's impact on other cultures was undeniably immense. From the earliest periods of pre-dynastic Egypt, there is evidence of trade connections that extended as far east as the Indus Valley. These trade routes passed through the Near East, resulting in an early exchange of motifs and ideas between the civilizations of Mesopotamia and Egypt. The New Kingdom, circa 1539 to 1077 BCE, brought even more active connections with Western Asia, including robust commercial and diplomatic relationships as well as a mutual exchange of imagery and concepts with cultures like the Assyrians and the Hittites. Lively interactions with the south contributed to dynamic cultures, such as the Kushites, who ruled Egypt during the 25th dynasty and whose monuments displayed an innovative blend of local Nubian and pharaonic imagery. Rulers and the elite from Meroe, in modern Sudan, were buried in pyramid tombs for many centuries, with more than 200 having been identified. That country actually contains more pyramids within its borders than Egypt does. Egypt also provided some of the building blocks for the Aegean, Greek, and Roman cultures, and, through them, influenced many aspects of Western tradition. Today, Egyptian imagery, concepts, and perspectives are found everywhere. When you know what to look for, you will see them in architectural forms, on money, and in our day-to-day lives. Many cosmetic surgeons, for example, use the silhouette of Queen Nefertiti, whose name means the beautiful one has come, in their advertisements. Longevity. Ancient Egyptian civilization lasted for more than 3,000 years and showed a stunning level of continuity. That is more than 15 times the age of the United States. And consider how often our culture shifts. As recently as 2003, there was no Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. While today we consider the Greco-Roman period to be in the distant past, it should be noted that Cleopatra VII's reign, which ended in 30 BCE, is closer to our own time than it was to that of the construction of the pyramids of Giza. It took humans nearly 4,000 years to build anything, taller than the Great Pyramid. Contrast that span to modern times, we get excited when a record lasts longer than a decade. Consistency and stability. Egypt's stability is in stark contrast to the ancient Near East of the same period, which endured an overlapping series of cultures and upheavals with amazing regularity. The earliest royal monuments, such as the Narmer Palette carved around 3100 BCE, display identical royal costumes and poses as those seen on later rulers, even Ptolemaic kings and Roman emperors on their temples more than 3 millennia later. This consistency and stability is closely linked with one of the central foundational concepts in the way ancient Egyptians saw the world around them. In their view, creation occurred when order triumphed over chaos and harnessed that amorphous power to bring the land of Egypt into existence. The perfect cosmic balance that resulted created the consistent cycles they saw in their natural world, such as the daily rising and setting of the sun and the Nile's annual inundation. This divine order was known as Ma'at, embodying truth, righteousness, justice, and cosmic law, and was eventually personified as a goddess. There was a perpetual struggle between Ma'at and the chaos, known as Isfet. From early in Egypt's history, a primary role of the pharaoh was to be the champion of Ma'at and preserve that cosmic order to help protect Egypt from the Isfet that surrounded them. The ongoing preservation of Ma'at was seen as fundamentally important, and the drive to maintain that perfect cosmic balance permeated the culture on multiple levels. A vast amount of Egyptian imagery, especially royal imagery that was governed by decorum, a sense of what was appropriate, remained extraordinarily consistent throughout its history. This is why, especially to the untrained eye, their art appears extremely static, and in terms of symbols, gestures, and the way the body is rendered, it was intentional, as consistency was the whole point. The Egyptians were well aware of their consistency, which they viewed as stability, divine balance, and clear evidence of Ma'at and the correctness of their culture. This consistency was also closely related to a fundamental belief that depictions had an impact beyond the image itself. Tomb scenes of the deceased receiving food or temple scenes of the king performing perfect rituals for the gods were functionally causing those things to occur in the divine realm. If the image of the bread loaf was omitted from the deceased's table, they had no bread in the afterlife. If the king was depicted with the incorrect ritual implement, the ritual was incorrect and could have dire consequences. This belief led to an active resistance to change in codified depictions. The earliest recorded tourist graffiti on the planet came from a visitor from the time of Ramses II who left their appreciative mark at the already 1,300-year-old site of the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, the earliest of the massive royal stone monuments. They were understandably impressed by the works of their ancestors and wrote of their desire to continue that ancient legacy. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more video.